I'm David Montoya, and welcome to our Contractor's Niche series. And I say Contractor's Niche because you have to have a niche. You have to have something different, something to show people that's not only with the product, but by the way that you sell or the way that you convey. Sales is nothing more than a conveyance or a transfer of conviction. So if you're not convinced about it totally, if you're not really convinced, how are you going to convince anybody of what you're about to do? So when I go into a yard, the biggest thing that I do, and this is kind of some tips that I'm going to be giving, is that I tell everybody, if this was my yard, this is what I would do. If this was my yard, this is what I would do. And so I really try to convey that. That's the thing, is to show people, listen, man, look at this yard. Look at the possibilities. Look what we can do. And of course, you do it within their budget, what they have, what they can't. But a lot of times, if you inspire people or really bring certain people to a certain level, and every personality is different, we know that. But if you bring them to a certain level, they're willing to say, you know what, this is value, and we will pay the difference because it's value and we think it's going to be really something else. And so that's what I like to try to convey. Today in my sketching tips, so that's just my sales tip, kind of a little bit of wisdom tip in sales when you go to sell. Instead of just bidding, everybody just bids. They do it by square footage. This is 25 by 36, so this is my price. Hope he calls me, hope we get the bid. That's not how it's done. I mean, that's how everybody else does it. But if you want to have a niche and be different, you're going to have to do it differently. And so this is just a suggestion. And the Contractor's Niche series, that's what it's about. Our seminars or our trainings and everything that we do in sales is all about helping you, the contractor, get to that next level or have a niche or really convey a greater possibility for your customers. Today, I have a really large plan. This is, and I have a series where I teach all about perspective and everything like that. And today we have this drawing that I did. A large contractor in Nicaragua had contacted me and said, had saw what we do as far as designing and stuff. He wanted a rendition, so I drew this rendition design and stuff. With the big waterfall, the whole thing. You can see what it looked like before, and they took down that big lighthouse-looking tower there, and now you have the whole design. This is kind of the overview. There's the front-on view, and of course, had asked for our help in this designing and for a big commercial project. Now, given, I'm also coming up with a different perspective on this, and so it is an overhead perspective. This is instead of a top view, it's looking way up a little lower, so you can see more of the whole project. And so I'm going to show you how I drew that real quickly, just kind of the different perspectives. Very simple. It's very simple, but it's something that you can get a different view on the same exact drawing. So overhead or straight at it. Take a look. 1-point perspective. And what I did, here's a 1-point perspective, and this is just a quick little tip. So here's that same piece. Now I did the big round circle as you saw in there, and it kind of comes in. It kind of has like it kind of comes out, kind of swirls out, comes in. That's where that tower was there. And what I did is I did a point here, and my waterfalls all come at a point. And when you have a point in the middle, you have this. A lot of times people are used to that point at the end over here, like we had here. We had kind of a 1-point perspective where everything just goes into one. Well, now we've got the point, and we put it over here, and you just kind of, all of a sudden you're in this aerial view, and everything goes down to this point. So all my waterfalls go here, this waterfall goes there, everything comes in here. It's just a simple 1-point perspective, but even the waterfalls out on the corner, which are going to do waterfalls all over this thing, the rocks, everything all come into one point. And now it gives us this great overview, and as you see, the waterfall is starting to take on the view of it being over the top, and now all the rocks and everything I do are going to take on that same, like this rock here. I want to build a rock like that. It's all going to take on that same down to this point here. I think the point's about right there. So all these lines come into it, and I'll draw my ripples and everything here. I actually have another waterfall here to draw off of here. And so just a quick point that I wanted to share out. And still keep the 1-point perspective, but now you're being more, you're over the top now, okay? The completed, almost completed. I think there needs to be some green around the back and some other things, but you can see it's the 2 rocks. Same thing. Here's there is the larger view, or the straight on view, and of course there is the upper view where you can look over the top and see the complete project. You can do that with backyards. I like doing it with backyards. You can show the whole system. I'll show you. There's a few other drawings here, as you can see, that are overviews or one or 2 point perspectives that will help you get a different view on the thing. There are all kinds of different CAD programs out there. If you don't want to learn how to draw, or you don't want to get somebody that knows how to draw to do this, there's all kinds of CAD programs out there that you can go and use. For now, I love the quick sketching. I love learning it. I didn't take lessons, but I taught myself, and it was very difficult that way. So I hopefully in the lessons that I give you, they kind of get you to where you want to be a little faster. Remember, if you study things, what's the guy say? If you study something for 2 hours or an hour every day for 5 years, you become an authority on it. Now, I don't know how much studying you got to have or how intense you got to be, but to be an authority on something, that's pretty simple. See, most people don't follow through. Most people don't continue to do what they have to do or what they need to do in order to succeed. So if you get in something, do it till the end, till it doesn't quit. With StoneMakers, the company we started, StoneMakers, we started that thing. We had many times when we wanted to throw the towel in, and we just kept on. And so we've come up with all kinds of products. Have I made mistakes? A bazillion. Oh my gosh, I've in all my life I've let people down and I've failed. But you know what you do is you just get up, you dust it off, and go, you know what? Let's keep on trying. And let's try to do better the next time. Let's try to make up the difference. And that's what you do. But you can't go forward worrying about how many times you're going to fall. You just go forward knowing that you're going to succeed. And you may or you may not. But you got to go forward in confidence. And when you go on a sale or you go to talk to people, the drawings and renditions are one of the greatest things to take with you because they convey your vision. So if you have a vision of it, you go, here's ideas. And it also brings to reality their vision. So if they have a vision or something, it brings it to reality. And now you have purpose. Now you have people going, man, we got to get this done. And so you're not only able to charge more because your work is worth it, but it conveys a better, people feel a little bit better not paying too much and not paying too little, but paying just enough to make sure that you're going to do the job right, that you're getting compensated right, and that the quality of the materials is good. So we want to make and keep that all balanced out. Listen, if you really want to get the edge, get the advantage, stay tuned. I'll keep bringing these ideas and things through Contractor's Niche. Have a great day.